For the first time in over 1 month, we just got over $500 million worth of Bitcoin spot ETF inflows. All that while yesterday we officially closed the CME gap. Are we in the clear? Are we moving higher from here? In today's video, I'll be going through what I think could be happening to the market next, and of course, taking you through some of my most recent trades. If you enjoy the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video. As we normally do, kicking us off with the Bitcoin price action, you can see here that we are now trying to reclaim this value area high of this existing range. If you're in my premium group, you know that we identified this as a pretty strong longing opportunity if we were to reclaim the top of this range. Now, Bitcoin did go ahead and fill that CME gap, which was always within our expectations, and this is what I would have considered a pretty strong long trigger if I wasn't already in a long. Just to show you once more, you can see that my long is still sitting in some nice profits. We entered just below $100,000. Now, is there a chance for Bitcoin to come back down again, grab that liquidity before we go ahead and move higher? I see a lot of comments talking about how the bear market is here. As I said several times, my weekly invalidation level is still those closes below $98,000. Until we get those closes, I'm still not willing to say that the bear market has commenced, and I still think that Bitcoin can go ahead and move higher out of here. It's very, very clear to me. I'm happy to pivot my strategy if I'm proven wrong, but at this point in time, right around these regions was the best opportunity to go ahead and go long in this market. And as I discussed, this was also shared in my free premium group. By the way, if you'd like to join, that's the first link in my description down below, where I'm sharing my own personal trade setups on a day-by-day basis. Also, if you sign up with me on Bluffin with the second link in my description down below, there's a fantastic 20% trading bonus cashback where you can get up to $500 for futures bonuses, and it's limited for the first 100 users that go ahead and join me. Make sure to sign up before the spots run out. Now, the point is, I still think that Bitcoin can move higher out of here, and this was a trigger, trying to reclaim the value area high. And now at this point, as I'm recording this video, I do think that there's a chance that we can retest the 107K region once more. As soon as we flip this level as support, if that is to happen, I do think that we will likely target the bull market support band, at the bare minimum, the bottom of this band, which is found right around 110.5K, between this level up to around $114,000. If we can confirm above the bull market support band, it is game on in my opinion, and Bitcoin will likely be targeting new all-time highs. I have been pretty vocal about that. I want to see how the price action develops. As I said in my premium group yesterday and in my video yesterday, you want to wait for the right opportunities in this market. When Bitcoin dumped here and then we went ahead and filled that CME gap, just because we go ahead and fill the gap, it doesn't mean, okay, it's time to go max long. You want to wait for a reclaim, and that's exactly what we're seeing right in front of our eyes. I saw a lot of people talking about how Bitcoin is still going to go sub 95K down to 80K, and then we will bounce from there. But now with my stop at break even, there's essentially no risk in this trade aside from potentially some unrealized profits, but I already secured around $20,000, and I'm looking to see if I can play this out to much, much higher valuations. At this point in time, Ethereum also dropped below this current support level, but we managed to come back up and confirm back above. So here's the thing. A lot of you have been asking me, why am I not considering to long altcoins? Because if Bitcoin starts reclaiming the range up above $107,000, then naturally altcoins may give you better risk to reward returns. The thing is, Bitcoin is still relatively uncertain here, and although I would like to see us reclaim $107,000, until that is confirmed, I'm not willing to take on more risk in this market. Bitcoin determines the rest of the market. That is also why I am still longing Bitcoin dominance. Some of you might laugh at this, but this has been one of the best possible trades you could have held over the past few months as it continues to grind higher. Remember, quantitative tightening ends as of December 1st, and therefore I do think that potentially around that time is when alts will bottom out against Bitcoin. Until then, I am happy in my Bitcoin dominance long, and yes, I also secured some profits on this trade. Reminder, if you like trading Bitcoin dominance as I do, you can also do so on Bluffin, which is the second link in my description down below, my favorite exchange to trade on. Now, I'd also like to show you this chart once more. We're going to talk about this until it is invalidated, and that is Bitcoin holding above that 50-week simple moving average, which is this green line on the chart. So long as we continue to hold above there, I do think that Bitcoin does have the likelihood to, at the bare minimum, retest the bull market support band. Let's see how the price action develops. The thing we need to consider though is the last time that we held this level as support, it wasn't just off the first tap of this level that we went ahead and moved much higher. You can see that we tap into it several times, even wicking below, which occurred this time around into our weekly invalidation level of $98,000. So there's a chance that what happens is we got this wick, we move up to the bull market support band, then we come back down, then we go back up. Let's see how it plays out. But if you do believe in the 4-year cycle theory, time is essentially running out. So I would more be looking for a big run here, hopefully to reclaim the bull market support band, and then we can talk about higher valuations for Bitcoin. At this current point in time, very content with the trade and just holding out to see if we can confirm above $107,000. After we confirm above this level, I'm willing to take on a little bit more risk. But after we confirm above the bull market support band, I'm willing to take on a lot more risk at this last stage of the bull market. Let's see how it plays out. Looking at the liquidity, there is a lot of liquidity on both sides here, and if we were to come back down to 102K once more, it would likely shake out a lot of longs, but you can see that some liquidity continues to pile up where we currently are. I also want you to take a look at this liquidation heat map, which we've discussed time and time again, but it's important that I share it with you. You can see that there's still around 2 times more cumulative short liquidation leverage in the market compared to cumulative long liquidation leverage in the market. Does this mean we're immediately going to go up? Not necessarily, but this is ultimately a positive sign if you're a contrarian trader, as I am. Now, I also wanted to talk about this because this has been a common narrative over the past few weeks since the liquidation event, and that is that Satoshi era wallets are selling some of their Bitcoins. After 15 years of holding, this whale in particular sold $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. What does he know? Now, these posts are put out on social media to try and scare you. Ultimately, I think this is just the natural cycle of Bitcoin. If you were $1.5 billion in profit, wouldn't you be taking some profits? That's the real question you have to ask yourself. Now, I also want to touch on this, which not many people have been talking about, the secured overnight financing rate, aka the rate big players pay to borrow cash overnight, has been plummeting. A sharp drop signals cheap money could be flooding in, often sparking bolder risks and surging asset prices. Typically, a move like this could signal that Bitcoin and altcoins as well get a little bit more upside here in the coming weeks. Let's see how it plays out. With that being said, I wouldn't necessarily agree with this last assessment, bull run loading. Guys, we've been in a bull run for quite some time now, and if you think that the bull run is just starting, I have something else to tell you. Now, what else is there to discuss in this quick video? You can see that we're still at the key levels. When Bitcoin ended up dropping yesterday into that CME gap and we filled the gap, we ended up moving lower as a lot of people tried to go ahead and go max long as soon as we filled the gap. That's why I've been vocal about the fact that we need to see reclaims if we are to go max long. The thing is, at this point in time, within this range, I would say that you don't want to diddle in the middle. If you're not exposed to the market and you didn't enter on a reclaim here on the shorter time frames, then I would simply be waiting for us to reclaim $107,000. That being said, if you are a trader, you would also understand that if we SFP again at $107,000 and we continue to see weakness, that could be a potential shorting opportunity in this market. We have to play both sides here as traders. Now, in regards to the ETFs, as I introed with, this is the first time in over 1 month that we got over $500 million worth of inflows. Don't believe me? Take a look at this. On October 7th, we got around $875 million worth of Bitcoin spot ETF inflows. And if we continue to scroll down, nothing up until yesterday, November 11th, where we got over $500 million in inflows. Could this be the bottom? Are we going to finally start seeing the spot Bitcoin ETFs accumulate more Bitcoin? Is it time for the last leg? And that sums up today's quick video. Bitcoin went ahead and filled the CME gap, and we are potentially seeing a reversal in the market as we have not been able to confirm new lows. From a risk to reward opportunity, that's why longing below $100,000 was an excellent opportunity. However, if Bitcoin does get rejected once more at $107,000, we cannot ignore the fact that we could be going lower before we move higher. Until then, I'm essentially sitting on my hands. My trades are there, my stops are at break even, and I hope you've enjoyed this journey thus far. We can make money in the market whether we go up or down. That being said, I'm also pretty content with the fact that we're seeing that the Bitcoin spot ETFs are slowly starting to ramp up. Ideally, we start to see more and more inflows day by day. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. As always, if you'd like to know how I leverage trade the market, you do have this bluffing tutorial right here, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.